Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. From which part of the world you're watching us from? Welcome once more to our scholarship webinars. This webinar is coming to you from Kasa De Lengua Limited. Kasa De Lengua is a comprehensive language service provider, and our services range from interpretation, translation, language training, IELTS registration and training, scholarship advisory services. So today we are going to delve into mastering grad school and scholarship interviews. In the next few minutes, we'll show you exactly what interview panels look for and how to present your story with clarity, confidence, and impact. Stay engaged, take notes, and feel free to drop your questions in the chats. To help us do that is no other than our one and only facilitator, Mr. Raymond Inketia. So, Mr. Inketia, you have the floor. Welcome once more.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Donuki. Thank you for the time as well. I want to give a very big thumbs up to Casa de Lengua for this series that has been ongoing since the first half of the year, where we have been trying to prepare students to gain scholarship. Get admissions with scholarships, and this series has been ongoing till now. So if you haven't watched any of our series, please make time, go to the Casa de Lengua website, or just go to the Casa de Lengua YouTube page as well. Now, following through what we've done code email masterclass, we've done scholarship 101, scholarship 102, the academic CV, the SOP, we've done all of that. Now, as at now, which we emphasized in our last webinar, you should have submitted your documentation. If you are applying for PhDs, no, mostly in the US, you should have submitted by now. Some deadlines for PhD and priority deadlines for masters in the US at December 15th. Today is 10th, so we have 5 more days. Some of the deadlines are January 1st and January 15th. I'm talking about US per se. Mostly for Canada, it's within December, January. Some of the Canadian deadlines go as far as February 1st for even PhD. Now, mostly for the European ones are in January, going to some European deadlines even go as far as into March, but no problem with that. Now, key pointers: if you have done everything we have told you to do, or we have spoke about, communicated about in the past 5 months on what to do in making sure you submit a competitive scholarship application and submitted everything, you just have to wait for what to be the decision. Now, most of the schools would consciously do an interview of their top applicants. Sometimes what happens is, I always say, people always come to my DM, as I said, every school and how they do it. There is not one way fit for every particular school. But the most important thing is that what the school communicates to you is what you have to do. I've had some people reach out to me last week and this week that they have a graduate school interview coming up just this month. The deadline was just 1st December, and just like in a week afterwards, they have been notified about a graduate school interview which is coming up. Some might be notified that they have an assistantship interview coming up. Some might be notified that they have a scholarship interview coming up. Now, most of the things about the graduate school interview and scholarship interview, they cut across. But what you need to know is that you need to do as stated by them. Normally, there'll be an invite. There'll be an email to invite you. So one of the first things you do is take your time and read that email. Take your time and read that email. When you read that email, you see the key points. Some of the things that you see that we want to know about you, about your professional experience, your working experience, your research experience, and how suitable you fit to our program. So means that is what the focus of it is going to be. Some might be want so normally take your time and read the email and highlight the key pointers about what it will be about. Some of the schools even tell you we want to interview you about this and that and that. If it's an assistantship interview, sometimes they will tell you, I'm going to interview you for this role, this assistantship role. So what you do is you look for what is this role, what are the responsibilities of the role. For a scholarship interview, so if it's a scholarship interview, what do you do is that ask yourself, what does the scholarship stand for? So you can go to the scholarship page. Sometimes it might even be a dean scholar, the dean scholarship, or the vice chancellor scholarship. Go to the page that and read everything. Normally on the page, the program page or the scholarship page or the assistantship page or the departmental page, it tells you the kind of people they are looking for, what they are expecting from these people. Now, thanks be to God, if you get an invite, and now let me take my time and then clarify this. Not all schools do the interview before they give the admissions. Some, and as I said earlier on, every school and how they do it. Some schools might decide that okay, what we'll do is that we've already chosen our top 20 for the program. So these top 20 are the ones that are going to give admission. But maybe we're going to give the fully funded scholarship to the top 10, and then maybe the partial scholarship to the next 10. So what we'll do is we'll do an interview of all the 20, and then we'll use that to rank in deciding which people actually deserve the now. So most often than not, what we always tell everyone is if you have been invited for an interview, then it means you are among the very top. First thing, if you have been invited for an interview, scholarship interview or graduate school interview, it means that you're actually very, because they actually look through all the profile, and as I always say, you're not the only one applying. So if people from all across the whole world are applying and you have been invited, because they cannot interview every single one as well, they always have to shift it as well. I mean, screen it as well. It's in just very few cases whereby they invite almost everyone. That means that possibly that year, those who apply for a particular course were not that many. But as much as possible, if you are giving an invite for an interview, a grad school scholarship assistant, means that you are among the very top. So now what do you then have to do? What you have to do is you need to sell out yourself. Let them know that you are who your documents say they are. You are who your SOP says it is. You are who your academic CV says it is. You are who your recommenders through the recommendation letters are saying you are. All of these must be exemplified in what you exhibit in the interview. And then you also know that they are looking for certain kind of people, which I said you find when you go to the program website, the program or the scholarship website or the department website. You see this and this and this. Maybe we stand for. So I think I, an Erasmus Mundus session, which I was part of quite about a few weeks ago, we were looking at some of the key pointers were about sustainability, transformational leadership, and stuff. And then the panel was saying that these are the three main pointers. What the core values of the program were for that course were what she paid attention to and in her SOP and interviews and stuff. And that is how, by God's grace, she was able to get the fully funded Erasmus Mundus scholarship. So, what you also have to do, which we have constantly been saying, please take your time and read. Take your time and read. Take your time and read. Read every single thing. And as we said the last time, now we are in the era of AI, and we always say that AI is not a bad thing, but AI should not replace your knowledge. AI is a tool. Artificial intelligence is a tool that should help you to be able to do things faster. So first thing, when I tell people that if you get an email from a school inviting for an interview, you can take the whole prompt from the whole email that they send you, put it into either ChatGPT, Meta AI, or Gemini, and say that I've been invited for this interview at this school. Can you suggest to me maybe 10 or 20 possible interview questions and appropriate answers, recommended answers that I should give it to it? It will give you the prompt. When it gives you the prompt, what, as we always say, whatever AI gives you is, it pulls out from the database of what it deems is the best. But they don't, no school wants a generic person. They want a very unique person. So if it gives you the answers, what you do is you polish it to suit your profile. You polish it to suit your profile. So sometimes even want if you want AI to even do the job even better, what you do is you can even attach your CV and say, look at my SOP, my academic CV, and use that to give the recommended answers. As we always know about AI gives you better answers based on the kind of prompts you give it. So giving it the general email and the prompt will give you a certain kind of answers. When you attach your CV and SOP and say, based on my CV and SOP, kindly give me the prompt. It also gives you it tells you the kind of prompt to give you. But whatever it gives you, what you need to do is that you need to pick it up and make it yours. Pick it up, edit it. You think through the story and look at how cheatable it will be. Sometimes, as you said, AI is in its generative state, so it hasn't really gotten to the very top notch. So you have certain things, there might be one or two errors. You need to polish it up. Then what you need to do when you have such kind of similar answers, I mean, the prompts that comes from that, what you do is you can practice these answers. Ask for interview, practice with a friend, practice with your wife, your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your brother, your sister. Practice. Let him ask you the question and then give your response. You can stand in front of the mirror, practice, so that you become familiar and confident in your answers. And then also note that the answers you are going to give in an interview need to be clear cut, straight to the point. So maybe 2 minutes. Sometimes some of the schools will give you have an interview of, let's say, about 30 minutes. In that 30 minutes, they might ask you about maybe 5 or 6 questions. So if it's going to be 5 or 6 questions, it means that every question, I mean, the question and your answer should be maximum 4 minutes, because they'll get to the point where they'll ask you, do you have anything for us? Or is there any question you want to ask us? So it means that you need to practice and then zone in your answers to the point that you know what you need to ask. Now, that said, just note that what we are going to give you are common questions. They are not going to be, let's say, like I'm like an apple. It's the same thing that will come. No. And we always tell people, you're an academician, you're a student, brainstorming. Even when you meet a question you've not met before, what do you do? Critical thinking. Think around the box and then answer. I remember one session I joined earlier this year. One of the panelists was talking about during his grad school interview. He was asked a question like this: that if he's a residence life assistant director, so more like he's the one in charge of the housing facilities of the school and of one hall, and then he has gone for a conference or a program maybe in a different state that is about 3 hours away from where he is. He went legally, I mean, by taking permission, and then an emergency happens behind him. What will you do? Somebody be like, oh, then I'll rush back. Somebody be like, 3 hours. By the time you come back 3 hours, that emergency would have gotten worse. So what did the person say? He said what he will do is that since it's an emergency and he works he's a team worker who knows how to delegate, he will reach out to the next person that he works in line, either the same person on his level. I mean, similar rank, then maybe the other person in the next hall who is at the same level, residence life director, assistant director at that hall, to supervise whatever is happening there. Then he will speak directly to the floor reps that he works with and assign them what to do. And then while this one supervise, then while that is ongoing, immediately he will call his superior to inform him about the situation on the ground, because his superior does not need to hear from anybody. He needs to hear from him first. And then based on the situation, if things are not going well, then he will definitely come. But it doesn't mean that he will leave all the bad, because by the time you also come, things will get worse, and then you miss all the two programs as well. So it means thinking on your feet. Okay, so good. So we'll move into the questions. We'll take our time and go through. If you have any question, you can ask as well, and then we are good to go. So the IT team, Mr. Solomon, if you could kindly getting ready for a grad school interview, then grad school interview. Now, one of the key things you need to know that please always test. Most of the grad school interviews are done online. Please test your gadgets. Some of them might be via Google Meet, some might be via Zoom, some might be Microsoft Teams. Please try it. Try and even log in, click on the link and see if it works. And then please always check the time zone. Sometimes it might be ET, Eastern time. It might be Central European time. Check and make sure you have the time rightly the same as yours. The same time as you are in GMT, you are maybe WAT. East African time or West African time, whichever way, make sure you know that it's exactly 6 o'clock Ghana time here. Then you tell yourself that 6 o'clock Ghana time, at least by 5:30, your laptop, your everything should be positioned properly. Check your webcam, make sure everything is facing you well. One tip I picked up from one very wonderful lady from Vermont. I found in one of a sessions about grad school interview earlier, somewhere I think earlier, no, last year, December, just around the same time this year. She said that being on time is late. Actually, you need to be there before time. So don't say because it says 6 o'clock, you join at 6. Preferably you can join at 10 minutes to 6 or 5 minutes to 6, because sometimes it will take sometimes as you are joining it is now your Zoom is trying to update. Your Microsoft is trying to update. So if you're waiting to 6 o'clock to now join, trouble. So please always make sure you are always ahead of time. And then be calm, check your web camera, make sure that you are in a good place with good lighting. I know not all of us have good lighting in our room, but purposely for this particular one, please do that. If sometimes you have to go to a cafe and rent a space whereby they can give you a corner of the room whereby the place is quiet with good light, please do that. If you have to go and visit your uncle, your boss, or anywhere, make sure that the environment is conducive for this purpose. That shows how professional you are. Nobody, no panel member will be happy that during your interview they are hearing noise, a cock crowing, go 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 go, all kinds of sounds during. No, please. Okay. Now, number one, the first and most important question that we are always asked in a grad school interview: tell us about yourself. Tell us about yourself. Now, I remember this point by Senior Selom. Selom is in Penn State, one of my big bosses. I salute him wherever it is. And during the session that we had last year, he said that what this tell me about yourself, it's not now you come to tell me that I am beautiful, I am handsome, I am energetic, I am passionate. No, 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 please. Yes, that is the like we know that those are things about, but in a grad school interview, that's not what you're looking for. You're looking for how relevant you are to the program. So first thing, tell us your name. You are Raymond. I'm Raymond Nketia. Tell us the course you did. I did this course. I did maybe a bachelor's of business administration, University of Ghana, with the first class honors if it's good, maybe a GPA of 3.4, over 4.0. And since then, I am working as the assistant personal customer service representative at Unibank Kaswa branch. Then what are some of the things also about you? So tell us other things you have done. I have worked in other roles. So as you always say, every interview based on that, you tell us what is relevant. So if you're applying to a scholarship, which the emphasis on volunteering and leadership skills, immediately in your first statement, tell us about your leadership skills. So aside telling us about your name, the course you did, the work you are currently doing, then you say, oh, I have served in other roles, like I was the hall president or the hall secretary of Africa Hall or of Katanga Hall or this and that. Also in my what do you call it, or the business administration student, I served as organizer. So immediately highlight the leadership roles, immediately highlight the, as we said, so as we always say, before you do anything, do the background check. Well, if you do the background check, well, you know what are the key things you are looking for, so then you highlight it immediately. Then if it's about the research, yes, I've done my research in what do you call it? Oh, my research, my undergrad research was in this and this and that, and I look to doing further research in this and that and that. That is why I'm excited to apply to this master's program or this PhD program in that. So what you are doing, number one, you tell us about your past, what you have learned, roles you have done. Presently, what are you doing? I'm an assistant customer service representative here. And then what you look forward to doing. So just in that simple tell us about yourself, they should have a fair idea of who you are. And as Salom said, if you kill this number one question, well, who you are, the job is done. The job is done, done perfectly. So please take your time and highlight this thing. Ask yourself, you should be able to say it effortlessly. I am Raymond Niketia. I did this course here. I don't want to mention my course, please. I don't want to mention it. I'm just trying to help you. Did this course. I'm currently working in this position, having served in other roles like this and this and this, with for which I did my research in this and that and that. And I look forward to expand this research in other areas like this and that and that. That is why I'm excited about applying to this master's or PhD program in this time. It helps them to know, oh, this person actually knows what he's going to talk about or what he's going to do. He knows what he's applying to the program. Now, as my senior, I mentioned Solomon because during that he spoke a lot about what he says. When you hit the number one question very well, now it gives them guidance as to where to direct the questions to. Immediately, if talking about leadership skills, they'll be like, oh, you have some leadership skills. Okay, tell us about that leadership skills, your role as an African Hall President or Katanga Hall President or Commonwealth Hall President or Secretary. So you see, now it becomes more about you. It becomes easier. And you already are the president. Oh, during my time as a president, and as we always say, whatever examples you are giving should be relevant to whatever you are doing. Yes, during my time as a president of African Hall, I had mentorship programs for students, ensuring that they were well prepared for exams. We had programs whereby I invited industry players, especially people from the banking sector and stuff like that. Yes, and as we say, now it's not just about talking about things, mention numbers. So the program brought about 1,200 students, for which we had 5 facilitators from this. After this program, this number of students have been able to attest to this and that or percentages. Give us key pointers, things that people can really remember. Okay, so if you do that, as I said, so normally if you hit the question one very well, they're like they would then use that question to ask other questions. But if you just say, tell us about yourself, oh, I am Raymond Niketia, I'm excited to apply for this program. They don't know anything much about you. They will then now hit the other questions as well. So take your time. I'm taking my time on the number because it's extremely very important. Hit the number one question very, very well. It becomes quite easier to do. Now it says, why are you interested in this program? Now, so sometimes we always say, so one of the best things to do, if you're going to for an interview, take your SOP. Because your SOP told you already what you're actually going to apply to. So maybe if you have thrown your SOP somewhere before you are going for any academic interview or grad school interview or assistantship interview, take your SOP, personal statement or motivational letter or cover letter that you are using applying. Look through it and ask yourself, what did you state as your motivation for applying? Pick that thing and now speak. And I want to say this, please, in everything you say, please exude enthusiasm. Exude enthusiasm. Let your enthusiasm flow. Let it flow. Let them see how you are enthusiastic about what you are doing. Because you can't be sometimes you might, I know it's possible that you might be sick. I mean, Pamacho, I beg you, please, on that day, gather all the courage. Oh, please, I am Raymond in Ketia, and I am enthusiastic to. You are saying enthusiastic, you're talking like this. Doesn't show anything. So, why are you interested in the program? Give specific reasons. Now, based on my learnings in the business administration program, which I did, which I'm applying as an assistant customer service personnel here, there has been the need for us to look at other areas like this. And the program at this school, University of Iowa, enables me the opportunity to build my skills in this, which I will use to apply. Fine. We always say normally use the SWOT method. Look for a problem and then bring about solution to it. So if people, I mean, people are always happy when they see that knowledge or learning is applicable to problems. So always find a problem, something. I can say, oh, during our last conference of business administrators or management personnel in Cape Coast, the conference speaker highlighted this, and my conversations with him intrigued me to try and search for further knowledge and experiences because I want to have a budding career in this. There should be clear cut reasons. Okay, Mr. Solomon, please you can go to the next slide for me as well. So if you hit these things very well, you are good to go. Why are you applying to the program and what good they are going? So we're going to ask now, what are your research interests or what research have you done? So this, as I said, your academic CV. So on your academic CV stated the research that you have done. If you've been a long while, you saw your research that you did, your thesis that you did, please go and pick it up. Take your time and read it again because for information, they are going to ask you specific questions. And I know, let me say this, under two, I know some of you, your research was done by some people, but even if it was done by some people, please take your time and read it so that you own the research because it is your research. And know that when they ask you technical questions, it doesn't mind if you did the research 15 years or 10 years ago. Because you were involved in it, you would answer questions. So what are research interest about? Looking at the research I did in that and that and that. So normally whatever you do, bring the past, present, future as you answer, and then bring examples, realistic examples, things that show that whatever you are doing is applicable to what you have done. So let me move into health. Looking at my research I did in identifying how Ghanaians respond to health education, like polio education, vaccination education, and stuff like that. I'm looking at how we can expand this research in another level. Then you see, you talk about what you have done and link it to your research interest. Don't say, oh, I'm interested in this and that and that. What makes you interested? So what you have done, and then what you look forward to doing as well. Okay, Mr. Solomon, please you can have the next slide as well. Thank you. So always try and as I always say in an interview, you can always be given questions that are way beyond whatever you think. Great. Now these questions, these self-assessment questions are very important. Now, I'm going to take them. I'm going to treat all of them. It says, what are your strengths and weaknesses? Tell me about the time you encountered failure and tell me about the time you achieved a significant accomplishment. Now, fact of the matter is that grad school is, I won't say difficult, it's involving, it's demanding. I remember a LinkedIn post by one of my mentors. I think that's Dr. Onji. Dr. Onji said that during one of their lab work they were doing, their lab work failed. And they got so discouraged. It was the professor who encouraged them that this is part of it. You need to get used to that. So most of the time, grad school panel are looking for your resilience. How do you handle failure? Nobody is perfect. As we said in the, they're not looking for a perfect work. They want to look for unique work. Unique. This is unique about you. Now, I know some of us, yes, you can't say you never had failure before. But even when you talk about the failure, talk about how you learn from it. An example can be, okay. So during, have you encountered failures? Yes. During my research, what we did was that we ran we had to get, we sent surveys or questionnaires to many people, and we're expecting that we'll get our minimum amount of response, about 50. Surprisingly, we had 20, and time was really, really against us. It looked like as if everything was really, really bad. But what did we have to do? So now you mentioned the problem and tell about what do you do. So what I did was I needed to gather enough efforts. What I did was I reached out to my professor to give me a little extension of time, about a week or two, to be able to reach out to a different set of people and I worked out to them. So you talked about the failure, but you've talked about what you do. So it means that you are somebody who does not give up when you meet failure. Very important. Great. There are many examples, but the point is, when you mention the failure, talk about how you did it. Someone, an example. During my undergrad, I really struggled in some of my courses. That's the reason why some of my courses, like my courses in maybe, I'll give an example, maybe in math and maybe psychology, I didn't do well. But after having a conversation with my academic mentor, my lecturer in school, he advised me on what to do, and then due to that, I was able to now improve my scores. Failure, result. Don't just leave the failure like that. So tell us about your strengths and weaknesses. Now, your strengths should be things that are relevant to the program, your timeliness, your presentation skills, your analytical skills. And then you mention it and tell us how you did it. Yes. Oh, my presentation skills have always been seen, especially in my presentation of work at wherever I work as a customer service. During our customer service week, I was the one who was called to do the presentation on behalf of the staff. So you mention your strength and tell us how you used it. Talk about this. Tell us how you used it. Now I come to weakness. When it comes to weaknesses, people are like, "Hey, why do I?" Yes. Now you talk about the weakness and tell us what you are doing about it. Now, weaknesses. Sometimes I want to finish everything on time. I don't want to miss a deadline. But some of my friends really drag back the work. So sometimes I've attempted to have one or two uncomfortable situations with them. But what I have done, I've learn how to handle that situation by communicating with them, giving them reminders, because in a group project, everybody needs to bring their responses on board. Now, and I've also reached out to them that if they need any help, I'm ever willing to come and assist them so that we can all thrive together. So you've explained that you are not able to tolerate laziness from other people, but you found a way that you've learned how to communicate with them, that now you are able to handle it so that you don't miss your deadlines. So the weakness has been mentioned, but you've turned it into a strength. Okay, great. Tell me about the time you achieved a significant accomplishment. It should be significant. Yes, an example might be my boss called during a conference, or during um a very important meeting, that he wasn't too well and couldn't have come. And the project presentation we had to present to management, he tasked me to step up and present. And it was a very intense moment for me. You need to show that it's significant. I really had to go over everything. I communicated with him, asking for guidelines and stuff like that. And by my own mind, I delivered how I thought I couldn't, but I was able to deliver it so well that he was very, very happy. He called me to congratulate me. You might think that was nothing. That was something. For you to step in for somebody's role and do a very good job, it's a significant accomplishment. So anything meaningful, you won, you were the customer of the year, you were the staff of the year. I mean, with whatever, anything significant. But as you are talking about it, try and show what are the key things you did that help you to be able to achieve those significant achievements as well. Okay, great, Mr. Solomon, please next slide as well. Thank you. So these are the things that you do. So as you are saying, all you are doing is you are trying to give a very good picture of yourself to the grad school, that yes, this person, when he comes, he knows what they are going to do. Things about your field. Now, what are the major issues in your field? Say you're in public health. What are the issues in public health? Talk about current challenge. So before you go, ask yourself, what are the current issues in public health globally, public health Africa, public health Ghana, public health in the country you are also going to? Before the interview, do a very, I also say, you might not have the answers to everything, but try and do a very good thorough job in preparation. Says proper prior preparation prevents poor performance. Proper prior preparation prevents poor performance. The 6 P's. If you prepare very well, you are good to go. And then what have you read that particularly influenced your thinking in this area? Now, they want to see whether you actually somebody who reads, because grad school is about reading. I mean, I don't know I mentioned Solomon today, but Solomon will tell you that today, hey, I have to go and do my reading. I have to read about 2 or 3 articles before I sleep. Different articles you have to read. So if you know you don't like reading, as of now, go and look for journals, current articles about public health, about business administration, about engineering, about economics. Look for it. Make sure something relevant and talk about, because you will definitely be asked. Don't just look at headline, or read and make sure you have some key pointers. And if you have some questions, you can ask as well. Next slide as well. So as we are saying, you are selling out yourself. You are giving a very good you are giving a good indication of who you are to the team as well. Solomon, please, the next slide as well. Thank you. So now, all you are doing is that you want them to see what you are bringing on board. And just as I said, it says that what your faith says, what can you bring to this graduate program? Why should we accept you? Now, so your selling point, you're applying to public health, you're applying to business administration, you're applying to um creative arts, you're applying to agriculture technology. Yes, I what do you bring to the program? I bring to an experience of working with an agricultural technology startup company in Ghana, whereby we work together with these number of farmers and have improved their yields by 30% over the past 2 years. And these unique experiences can also be applied in this level in Europe, in Canada, in USA, in wherever, and stuff like that. And then you mention your other unique skills as well, something that is unique. Something that is unique. We are emphasis on unique. Yes, you can even say that um apart from my, so you use the apart from to mention pointers, key pointers, apart from my analytical, my research skills, my presentation skills, and my tenacity, I bring on board this other. Then you zone in on that agricultural technology thing that you have, which not everybody will have had. That experience you have that nobody have had. So you mention others and then zoning on one. Normally you zone in on one or two. You cannot mention every single thing as well. Why should we accept you? And then explain how the program would help you to be able to expand operations from, maybe you are in Elubo, the farming in Elubo, to maybe the other parts of Ghana as well, and then other African countries and other parts of the world as well. Good. Actually, says, what other schools or programs have you applied to? Now, you explained that, I mean, nobody's restricted to just one program. Sometimes you can even apply to two programs in a school. I've applied to agriculture technology and agricultural business, but I really want to do agricultural technology because of this and that and that and that and that and that. Highlight it, because they might see your profile in the system that is agricultural business and agriculture. Don't think that they don't know. So you can, yes, I've applied, but looking at this, and you can explain that knowing that graduate admissions are not a foregoing, that as soon as you apply for only one, you get admission to one. It's always important that students apply to variety of schools. But if all these schools give me admissions, I will choose this school, because then you emphasize on their school. Tell them why you want to come to their school, that they are your number one choice, and list key pointers, that their program is interdisciplinary. You like how the faculty relationship, I mean, anything that is quite unique. You like the flexibility of the app. Some of the programs allow you to, you have about 2 or 3 electives that allow you to borrow courses from other areas. You can borrow a course from maybe engineering or AI and stuff, and you zone in. Let them know you know what you're talking about. Don't talk generic. So you go to their program website, read. So some of the schools, what they do is on the program website, you can even see course requirements, course. You can even see all the courses you do, and even the breakdown of the courses. Wonderful. That is good. Okay, great. Mr. Solomon, next one. Next slide as well. So now, what are your long-term goals? Long-term career goals. Most of the time, so you talk about you talk about what you are currently doing first, and explain that program you're talking about research areas and how you would apply it in a greater role by the expansion of your company to this level, and then making you a consultant, faculty member. So as I always say, past, present, future, past, present, future. It always makes sure that we know where you are going to. It's a career path and go. Shouldn't be like just, oh yeah, also yeah, we know I actually know I just want to Japan. That's the fact. But let us know why you are doing this course. Let us know why you are doing the course. How relevant with the course. And as you always say, the course should not only be relevant to you. It's not about you. Impact on society. How relevant will it be? If it's only you, then I mean, why would should they give it to you that it will benefit only you with that without impact on society, the broader society as well? A question is, how have you prepared yourself for a career in this field? That is when you talk about that. Oh, consciously you have been taking some online courses on Coursera, edX. These courses you have been doing it. You have been attending workshops. You have been doing professional development and all of these things. You have been going to do some IT courses and stuff, certificates and stuff, and all of this has culminated into your preparation for this program. And that is why you know that you are very confident with this, and then your relationship with industry players, how you collaborate with them, your how you even relate with faculty members in your school and stuff like that, and how you even motivate so to show that everything that builds your case to show that you are well prepared for your program, you bring it on board, and then you are good to go. I don't know if there's any other question or next slide. I think we're almost done. We should be done with that. Solomon, please let me know. Is that our last slide? Okay. So tell us about your research experience, your clinical experience, your teaching experience. Now, as we said, most of the scholarships will come by either your research experience as a research assistant, the teaching assistant, or administrative assistant. So take your time and zone in this very well. Yes, I've served in my research as in this capacity. In my what we did, I was the team. Sometimes some of the projects we do it as in groups, maybe 4 or 3. Yes, you were the team leader, and you had to, after doing the literature review and stuff like that, you had to take your time to use develop surveys based on data that you have gotten, and you had to go out and conduct the surveys. And when you came back, you had to code the data and have interaction to the supervisor on what to do as well and things like that and how you applied it. And after doing all of this, you submitted it and then even made presentations and even had defended it with other people. So highlighted your teaching experience. Maybe as you always say, teaching experience is not always at university level. Maybe you were study group leader in school. You taught maybe after SS, you taught some JSS school for even if it is 3 months or 6 months, whatever it is at some level of experience, some working experience. Take your time, highlight, let them see that you are somebody who is systematic, somebody who is proactive, somebody who is diligent about the work they do. Let them know that when you come, they will have value for money. Don't say, oh, my research experience was we did a research on this and that and that and that and that. That's all. No, please highlight it. Go in depth. That does not mean that talk baby how. Just hit. That's why we say. That's why you're talking about doing the practice. When you do the practice, be able to do all of these things as well. And practice, you will not be asked all of these questions, but these are common questions that one question can come from here, one question can, and everybody's, even 2 people who are having an interview one following the other, their interviews might be different. It might be different. It would be different because of how your answers would be. How your answers would be will determine how the interview will be steered and the direction which you will go as well. Please, Mr. Solomon, confirm if this is the last one for me. Let me know if there's another slide. Then I wrap up because I'm wrapping up here as well. So all of these, okay. What will be your biggest challenge in coming to grad school? If you don't offer you funding for this, will it still come here? Good. Your biggest challenge in coming to grad school. I mean, look at what do you think you might need for help? Yes, looking at the challenges we faced during our research in Ghana, whereby maybe some of our responses were not answered on time. I am just hoping that I don't feel such at the master's level or stuff like that. And I get sometimes scared. I mean, whatever. But so you look at and always talk about things that are practical, because it's not always that researchers. I mean, how do you put it? Get to the end. I mean, people, you have the number of service and things like that. These are real issues. So talk about a real issue that you are afraid of because maybe you have encountered before. Maybe I will need to but it shouldn't be something that should expose your weakness too much. It should be something that you should talk about, that you know that okay, so maybe you talk about, okay, my experiences are mostly with let's say qualitative methods, with some level of experiences in quantitative methods. I haven't done much of mixed methods. I am looking for one of my challenges. I want to make sure that I can be able to do mixed methods, but I know that the faculty. So then you bring the challenge and bring solution. The faculty in this with the level of experience can help me to be able to upgrade my mixed methods, because I want to be a versatile researcher who's not limited to only quantitative methods or qualitative methods. Spot on. If we did not offer you funding for this program, will you still come here? This is a very dicey question. But please, don't say no. Don't say no. Don't say no. The reason, because sometimes you always say that schools have some level of funding. Sometimes they might not have had the financial clearance yet. So at the time, it might not be known to all. But if they see that you are actually interested in coming to the school, as soon as that clearance comes, you get an email where have this. Would you want to apply, or would you want to consider applying for this or being nominated for that? That is how it goes. That is how very, very, very important. So now, what can you say? um Grad School is has some financial commitment as well, and every student would love to have this financial commitment being alleviated in some level of scholarships or funding. I'll be glad to have that. But if the school that part of us does not have that, I pray that you be able to find some level some other means of funding for me, or be able to nominate me from some external scholarships. In the meantime, in my country, Ghana or Sub-Saharan African, I apply to other external scholarships here, whilst also looking to gain other funding, maybe from other some personal funds as well, because this program is very important to me. So you see, even though you are saying that it will be a challenge if they don't give it to you, you are looking forward that they might have some level of scholarship in the future, even whether partial internally, or they can even nominate you for external scholarships, or direct you to where you can get some level of scholarships. Even that, if they can't do that for you at their end, you in Ghana, Africa, applying to other some of external scholarships and fellowships here in Ghana, and then a backup plan, educational loan, or other things like that. Empower is there, Prodigy and stuff are there. And let me put when I mention Empower, there's some people who there are some schools you will not get the funding until you actually go for the first semester. So what they want your commitment income. So you might need the Empower or the Prodigy loan or the Ascent loan just to go in for the first semester, or your own personal funds to pay your tuition fee for the first semester. Then when they are going to second semester, based on your performance, academic performance and practical performance like that, then they would award assistantship. Or there are some schools like that. So you explain that this is what they are going to do and stuff like that. Let them, and as we said during the code email and the SOP, let them know that you are more interested in the program than the scholarship. Some of us our mind is, can I get scholarship? It's not about can I get scholarship. Nobody's dashing scholarship. And I want to say this based on a LinkedIn post I saw quite recently. Say that the blatant truth about scholarships. Scholarships are not just nobody's going to dash money just like that. Dash money. Scholarships is value for money. What are you bringing on board to the school that will help our ongoing academic works, academic research work, lab work, project work go on successfully? That we would compensate you by taking care of your expenses via the scholarship. So let them see the value you are bringing on board. If they see the value you are bringing on board, then they would also willingly be willing to. Don't go and just asking about scholarship. There's no free lunch anywhere. Okay. So I think that's is that. Ms. Solomon, please, is that the last slide as well? Can you let us know? Yes. Then the first one. Do you have any questions for us? Please, I beg you, by the mercies of God, please don't say that I don't have any question for you. Don't say I don't have any question for you. Please, that is a no. At least look through the program. What are some of the things on the website you don't have questions about? Oh, please, what is the plan for students during the summer? Our students are supposed to take some academic courses and lessons like that. Is there any plan for students who want to do more research and academic work like that? How is the mentoring or supervisory roles done in the school? Do the students actually see the supervisors, or the supervisors are assigned to them? Then some of the schools, are the supervisors rotated for the students each semester, because some schools rotate it, or are you rotated in a lab? Then I mean that the school gives to students in helping them to gain more practical skills as well. That the school allow them to attend conferences, maybe in engineering, conferences in agriculture technology, and how often are these conferences done, and what does it take for a student to be nominated to go for such program? That's so that you are coming to learn. It means you are coming to learn. So ask questions. Don't say you don't have any questions. I beg you, by the mercies of God, please find something. And one of the smartest questions to ask, if you look at the two faculties, some of you are interviewed by two or three faculty. As you know, every work, go and read the last or two research of the faculty members who are going to interview you. You can ask a very salient question on one of their research. I saw that your findings in this and this and this were that. I wanted to know, where did you look at this aspect of your research? Charlie, let them see that you are a sharp brain. So the faculty that you have, oh yes, there are other questions that I will come, but I actually, since the opportunity for me to meet you for the first time, so I wanted your based on your research on this and that and that. I noticed these findings and that, but I wanted to know what attributed for this and that and that. Ask an intelligent question about something they have done quite recently, so that they will know that yes, actually you had time to read. Don't go and as well, please. And I'm saying here again, don't say you don't have any question. Take your time, put a question through, a very intelligent question. Sometimes, and some may be surprised if you ask the question, it will just let them talk and talk, and the conversation will be so interesting. And then now, when you are done with your grad school interview, I think that's the very last one, right? When you are done with the last grad school interview, please make time and send what we call a thank you email. We have said this thing. Email culture is very important. Send them an email, maybe 30 minutes or an hour afterwards, even the next day. Thank you for the opportunity, inviting me for the interview. I was glad about it. I'm glad to interact with you. And it's even, I'm even more excited about joining the program, having to have an experience with your faculty members and stuff like that. Put it on board. Don't Yes, naturally in Ghana we don't do these things, but in Africa, but please, these are very important. Email etiquette is extremely important in grad school stuff. And one post one of my big bosses, my mentors, made just yesterday on Facebook. He said this: please, as we are going on Christmas holidays, the professor you are trying to work along with, please remember to send him or her happy holidays. And emphasis is a holidays around 20th, because they'll be going, wish them a happy festive holidays. Don't say happy Christmas, because fact of the matter is that not everybody's a Christian. Say wishing them a happy festive holidays and a happy new year. Looking forward to a glorious new year for them. It's something very simple and polite. Thank you. Say again, don't go and say Merry Christmas. As my big boss said. Don't go and say Merry Christmas, because not everybody might be a Christian. They might even take offense on that as well. So I think that is the full wrap up of the full session. We'll take the questions as and when they come up as well. And we are wishing everybody the very best as you have followed through it. That's all true. You are good to go. Mr. Zonuki can or Mr. Solomon can come and ask if there are any questions in the chat area. We can pick and attend to these questions as well. So that is it. And that's to say that I always want to say that we are doing this to help everybody. What we believe is that students should be able to excel. Grad school, the people who are getting the big scholarships, they're not bigger than us. They just took their time and put in the efforts, concerted, well-directed efforts to get the results. So if we also follow the instructions, know the right thing to do, everything we learn as in our indigenous parlance, we say that obi nima obitre, if you don't know, somebody teaches. That is why we, as Casa de Lengua team, have decided to do this to help students in this manner. People are trying to do their grad school, either masters or PhD or postdocs and stuff like that. Casa de Lengua does a scholarship service for that purpose. So you know that so scholarship advisory service, guiding people. If you want proper guidance, even far reaching more than what we are even doing here, reach out to the Casa de Lengua team. You can go to the Casa de Lengua website, Casa de Lengua on Facebook, um, on LinkedIn, on X, Instagram as well, TikTok as well. Yes, and you can also reach out to the Nuclear Ablo, Mr. Nuki, the CEO's handle on LinkedIn and then on Facebook. Reach out to her. The team are ever ready to reach out to you, get back to you, and then do a very good job because we believe in providing services that will help people to be able to do the right job as well. That's Solomon. Please, you can let me know, Ms. Donuki, if there are any questions that are in the comments area, and then we can pick it from there. Thank you very much as well. And since this was going to be more or less like our last session since we started somewhere around June till now, I'll use the opportunity to also wish everybody happy holidays. I won't say Merry Christmas. Happy holidays as I advise us to say. So happy festive holidays as it's coming in. Looking forward to see you all in the new year as well. So glad to. You're welcome. I think you're muted though.
Sorry about that. Thank you very much, Raymond. That was very powerful. We have a few questions for want of time. We'll just look at a few before we wrap up. So the first question is someone is asking, can he apply if he doesn't have a research experience? But well, I don't see how that is possible. In fact, I don't
Oh,
see how.
okay. Okay, don't worry. I think we highlighted that during the SOP and then the academic CV. Now, um, first thing, most people think research experience is somebody like a researcher. No, it's not about big research. I mean, little experience is still experience, even if it is level one experience is something. So most likely than not, in your undergraduate program, you did a thesis or some level of work. Even if you didn't do a thesis, there are some level of research. You research to do assignment. That's some level of research. Put it, carve it in a very proper way, and talk about it. If you are somebody who did, it will be it will be very, let's say, it'll be, it'll be very unique to hear that you didn't do any thesis at all. But assuming if you don't have anything like that, what you can do is look for articles in your area. I mean, agricultural technology, economics, arts, and then write a little review about it. So this is what you read, and this is your review, and post it on LinkedIn. It tells you that at least you're able to think like a researcher. So don't say I don't have research experience. Say turn your weaknesses into your strength. Thank you. You're muted.
So yes, you said you should go to the website. You should go to the school's website and see the requirements for that program. What if the requirements are not clearly stated on the school's website? What do you do?
Oh, email culture. If the requirements are not stated, what you normally do is you send an email, send an inquiry email, get to know them. I mean, as you always talking about the code email raising, let them know this is what you are trying to apply. You want to know the requirements. Do you suit the profile of what they are looking for? They'll definitely get back to you as well. And let's also say that if you send an email and you're not getting a response, you can send a follow-up email after a week or two. If after a week or two you're still not getting a response, you can just pick the number from the number of the contact number call and make an IDD call. You're allowed to make an IDD call. I mean, spend some credits, MTN bundle, do an MTN IDD bundle and call international office and then speak to them and then they can reach out to help you. You know what's important to you. You sacrifice and then get what you need as well.
So, is it possible for someone to apply for a scholarship when he or she doesn't know his research topic?
Yes, it's possible. Because an example, if you're applying to a scholarship like maybe Commonwealth, yeah, if you're applying to Commonwealth, at that point in time you're applying to Commonwealth, you might not even have gotten admission at your school. But you give them an idea that this and this is what you would like to do when you get admission in this school or this school. Sometimes they even allow you to and tell about three or four schools that you are likely to apply to. So you tell them that this and this is what you are likely to do. Now, even research topic, even let me even come with those who are sometimes write research proposal when they're going to apply for schools. Your research proposal can always change when you go to school. It's not set in stone. They just want to see how you think as a researcher. So there are no restrictions to that, but just let them know that this and this are what you are looking forward to research into, and then they know what because they know that actually started, and then changes can even happen. Even people start their research after a year or two, they may make changes. It's always allowed as long as you've not gotten to your final year.
Okay, so in your presentation, you said you should be calm when going for the interview. Now, this person's question is, how does he stay calm when he is extremely nervous? How does he stay calm when he's extremely nervous?
Okay. Bible says, "Know thyself. Know thyself." Everybody has to now what really calms you down. There's somebody there's some certain music when they play calms you down. Maybe if you speak to a friend, there's a friend or a brother or a sister who can calm you down before the interview and stuff like that. There's certain books, so certain things. Maybe you have to drink some water or maybe close your eyes, meditate and stuff like that. Anything you need to just calm down. You have to breathe in and out. Anything as at now, you should know what you should do to calm you down. If not, please take a time and observe yourself, self-evaluate yourself, reflect. You see some of the things you can do, but some of the best things to do is to calm down, to breathe in, just take it cool, and just tell yourself that you can do it, and assure yourself. Number one, assure yourself that you are among the top students. That is why they are inviting for the interview. They are not here to query you to make you feel bad. They will actually want to approve their decision, their earlier decision of choosing you. They just want confirmation that this person we want to choose is actually who he or she is. So actually, it's more like you're already in a comfortable lead. You just need to affirm whatever needs to be done as well. So just be calm. You are good to go.
Now, last but not the least, you said we shouldn't use AI. However, we can put in our SOP or our CV to give us questions that are likely to pop up when we go to
Hmm.
the interview.
Hmm.
And then we should also try to tailor it to suit what we would say. Now, the question is, how do we personalized AI generated answers so they don't sound robotic.
Okay. So I think we've said this quite often. We are not saying people should not use AI, but they shouldn't use it absolutely like copy paste, copy paste. They should use AI ethically, use it the right way, which we have said it several times through our sessions this year. The point is that use it ethically. So you give it the prompt. When it gives you the answers, now ask yourself, AI, some of the answers AI might give you is talk about your past experience. When they talk about your past experience, what do? You know your own past experience. So you look for it. And then always look. AI is robotic. You yourself, you can see that this English is not your normal English. If it's not your normal English and you are saying that English, you fumble. So what do? Look at the answer that AI has given to you. You can rewrite it in how you, if Ajahn answer, if you're supposed to speak, you will speak it. And then that makes it more personalized. And then when you speak, you can see that you can actually flow and then you are good to go in that as well. So AI should not be a problem. AI is a tool to guide you. If it guides you, you pick it, you modify it, and use it ethically to show that you are the human with the greater brain.
Thank you very much. I was going to let you go, but I just realized someone had dropped a question. So please
No
let's
problem.
answer this before we wrap up. So this person says, can someone change the course of study during the scholarship application?
The course of study, the question might mean two things. One, it might mean that you are trying to apply to a different course from the start. That we have said that it's possible. But make sure that when you're applying to a different course, you should be able to explain explicitly, explicitly in your FOP why you are doing a diversion. And then even before you apply to a course that is a bit different, what you do is, as you said, the code email, send an email to the program coordinator explaining your profile and whether you meet the requirements so that you don't waste time and apply. Don't waste. You are from health. You want to go and do how do you call it? Commerce. Yes, you can have somebody in health doing commerce because we sell health stuff, injections and things and stuff like that. But maybe in this kind of commerce, they're looking for pure commerce background people. So you might think that you can apply, but if you send the program coordinator any response, you say, oh yes, we our program takes people from other fields, but maybe you might need to do maybe one or two courses in commerce as a pre-requirement before you come. So we'll admit you, but when you come, you do maybe this one or two or three courses in commerce before you can continue the program. So that is one way to do that. But as we always say, send a call email. Number two, now assuming you're applying for maybe Commonwealth. And then all your SOP for Commonwealth is to saying that your Commonwealth scholarship or seven, and you're talking about business administration or management. You can't go after you've submitted that scholarship application to go and now apply to change that school that you're applying to and then change it to maybe public health. If you do that, you see that it has not matched to whatever they also have there because they are going to award you that scholarship based on the program that you said you were going to apply for. So some of these things are a bit dicey. But if if in case of any doubt, read what's on the scholarship. And as I always say, every scholarship is unique and different. So read what's on the scholarship website. If there is any doubt again, always send an email. Always send an email. But maybe you really, really want to change because maybe you got up and you see that, oh, I've made a mistake all my life. I should have done health instead of administration. I want to do the health. Go. But know that you might be denied a scholarship when you get admission because it does not meet the requirement. And maybe you might need to apply for the next cycle of the scholarship whereby you have that admission. And let me put it across. So this just let me since you're thinking about this scholarship question. Sometimes what you can do is that you can defer your admission. So you can get admission this year and decide to defer it so that as you defer it, you also look for scholarship. So by the time you'll be maybe the next semester, then maybe you have gotten the scholarship and then you can then now go for the program. So it's allowed. schools allow for students to defer their admission based on one or two reasons as well. So that is how you handle it. But be very careful. I mean, not very careful in a bad way, but always seek clarification from the scholarship secretariat or the website or the scholarship coordinator. He'll definitely get back to you and you are good to go.
Thank you very much. So, if you joined in late, this scholarship webinar is brought to you by Casa De Lengua. We are a comprehensive language service provider. If you want conference interpreting, conference equipment rental, translation services, language training, IELTS registration and training, and scholarship advisory services, please, we are your one stop shop. Please visit our website www.casadelengua.com. We do monthly webinars on IELTS and then scholarship advisory services as well. If you are about applying to a school and you need scholarship advisory services, please do not hesitate to send us an email at support@casadelengua.com. You can also follow our social media handles on Instagram, LinkedIn, X, YouTube, and then send us a message. DM us and would answer all your questions. Thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you next time. Bye bye and happy holidays, right? Yes,
Okay. Yes.
everyone has corrected us that not everyone watching is a Christian, so you can say, I'm wishing you a Merry
Oh, oh
Christmas.
no, no, no. You can say Merry Christmas, but I mean, if you are reaching out to external people, like I mean, this is for us within our sub region and stuff like that. But it's also important that we also, preferably for to be politically correct, it's good to use the Happy Holidays than the Merry Christmas. If you are sure the person is a Christian, then you can say Merry Christmas as well. So these are some of the things that happen as well.
In this case, we don't know who is watching, right? We don't know the beep system. Yes, if I was going to address you, I'd say Merry Christmas because I know you're
Okay,
stand Christian. But since I don't know who we are addressing, let's just say Happy Holidays.
sure,
And
sure.
please stay tuned. As I said, visit our website from time to time, visit all our social media handles from time to time. Next year is going to be super packed, more exciting than this year. And we look forward to seeing you all. And thank you all for your support. We are most grateful. Thank you very much. Have a good
Thank
afternoon
you.
and bye
You
bye.
too. Bye.